It's amazing to listen to these brave people. I'm a publisher, just a conduit for their bravery and their brilliant ideas. Free expression is vital for democracy. And as we've seen tonight so starkly, it is constantly under attack. In the words of the founder of Index, the poet Stephen Spender, Index exists with concern for those who are not free. And it's our job to stand with Index and with others to keep that concern alive, to never give up on that struggle, no matter how hard or how dangerous. 3 years ago, I had the great pleasure to meet a mild-mannered, articulate, intelligent man, Idrak Abbasov. He was the winner of the 2012 Journalism Award, and he struck me as a credit to any country. He was a man who, to once again quote Stephen Spender, wore at his heart the fire's center. Now in 2015, the 15th year of the Index on Censorship Awards, I remember that meeting because now I'm here to present a special award, one that reflects the courage of those who ignore the grave risks and hold the light of that fire for democracy in their hands. This year's special award goes to a group of individuals from what is apparently a so-called, quote, modern and dynamic country. The country is the proud host of this year's inaugural European Games. The awards for the people of a country where their president says, and I quote, all the fundamental freedoms are provided. Freedom of assembly, association, freedom of expression, media freedom. And so why then, during that country's 2014 chairmanship of the Council of Europe, this country, Idrak's country, unleashed an unprecedented crackdown on journalists and human rights activists? This is a special award for the persecuted writers, the artists, and the activists of Azerbaijan. There are many brave men and women I'd like to invite up here on the stage to collect this special award. Anar Mamadli and Bashir Suleimanli. Rasul Jafarov. Seymur Hezi. Emin Huseynov. Leyla and Arif Yunus. Intigam Aliyev. The Azad newspaper. Khadija Ismayilova. And so I think now back to my friend. He fled his country in the past year. A familiar face to me, to all of us from Index, now living in exile, for a while unable to travel because his own government confiscated his passport. He is a refugee from an apparently modern and dynamic country. This award is for him and for his compatriots. Idrak Abbasov.
Good evening. I'm a journalist and human rights activist from Azerbaijan. My name is Idrak Abbasov. I am co-founder of the Institute for Reporters, Freedom and Safety in Azerbaijan, and have worked in local and foreign media for over 20 years. In 2012, I received an award from Index on Censorship. 20 days later, I was brutally beaten while shooting a film in Baku. It was a price that had to be paid for the right to truth. Many of my friends paid dearly for the right to truth at around this time, but we went on working. From March 2014, the authorities in Azerbaijan, with President Ilham Aliyev at their head, sought to resolve the issue of free speech and freedom of expression once and for all. Many of our colleagues were arrested. Many, including myself, were forced to flee the country. I am currently in Norway with my family. After March 2014, many NGOs were closed down, including the Institute for Reporters, Freedom and Safety. For the past 7 months, the director of the institute, Emin Huseynov, has been in hiding at the Swiss embassy in Baku. Distinguished human rights activists Leyla Yunus, Arif Yunus, Intigam Aliyev and Rasul Jafarov have been arrested. Earlier arrests had included human rights activists Einar Mamidli and Bashir Sulamanli. Last year, the authorities arrested the well-known journalists Khadija Ismayilova and Seymur Hezi. Before then, Perez Gashimli, Gilal Mamedov, Nijat Aliyev and Rauf Mikadirov had been arrested along with others. In Azerbaijan, not a single television or radio channel is free. In effect, all media are under government control, with the exception of a few newspapers and the internet. There is no freedom of expression or association. There are no free elections. The country is ruled by a terrible regime. Freedom of speech has been completely stifled. Our colleagues have been murdered. Emin Huseynov was killed in 2005. Novuzeli Mamedov was murdered in prison in 2009. Rafik Tigi was killed in 2014. No one has been called to account. Many journalists have been brutally and repeatedly beaten, and no one has been punished. This is Azerbaijan. This is the horrific way the country is being ruled. That is why I call upon the world community to help Azerbaijan and the freedom of speech in Azerbaijan, so that our colleagues might be released and that our country might become a normal state in which we and others might live freely. Thank you.